What up, Wolves? Blade Master here. You're watching the Wolf of Remus Total War channel, and I'm back with some more Total War Rome 2 online action. This was another quick battle that I fought against Greek Seleucus. I think that's what his name was. And I've taken Suebi, and he has taken Rome. And I've taken a really weird Suebi build, you guys. This is this, well, let me answer your questions for you. Is this a good Suebi build? No. Is this a weird Suebi build? Yep. Will this be a Suebi build that can beat Rome? Absolutely not. So let's see how I do. I've brought a total of 6 Cimbri bowwomen. That's the max that you can bring. They are incredibly strong archer units. And I've also brought 1 longbow hunter. So a total of 7 missile units. And then I brought a total of 3 Woden-as spears, including a Woden-as spear gen, and 3 spear wall units. And finally, I brought 1 noble rider and 1 riders of the hunt on my flanks, and 2 Germanic scout riders on the extreme flanks. Now, why did I bring this? Especially considering the fact that this was going to be played in a kink, which has like a ton of forests, as you can see here. No idea. Maybe it's because Blade is a shit player at Total War Rome 2. But I mean, let's see how it goes. My opponent has brought a couple of Hastati up in front, whom he'd use as a it's 5 Hastati up in front, whom he'd use as a charge bait. And that's a very smart move by my opponent, because a lot of Suebi's power comes from their charge. I have powered fast charge, as you can see. It takes a bit of time to get it to move past the first phase. The first phase is basically unnecessary. I mean, it's just a charge speed bonus. You have to wait until it activates to the second phase, which gives them a powerful charge. So you can see Spear or Woden-as spears have 49 charge bonus, and Spear Wall have 43 charge bonus. So they're all going to charge into this this Hastati line, which is not great for me. I mean, their incredibly powerful charge, which will decimate these Hastati, is going to be wasted though, because he's brought a second line of Avocadis and veteran legionaries. So it looks like he's brought 4 veteran legionaries and a couple of Avocadi cohorts. Finally, 3 auxiliary Syrian archers, 1 legatus general, and it looks like he's brought a total of 4 Saki equites and 1 extra vigiles. Now my Germanic scout riders are going to shoot these guys in the back. Meanwhile, my spear wall and my Woden-as spears have started to attack. You can see that spear wall, an extremely defensive unit with terrible melee attack, has already got 31 kills and counting on Hastati units. Meanwhile, my 7 archers are going to be just firing straight into the second line. These Avocadis now, what's pretty interesting is while these guys are shooting their javelins, it means that they're unable to put their shields up. So that means that they will get some kills. Actually, some of them are putting their shields up, but when the ones that do are preparing to throw their javelins, they can't protect themselves against missile fire. So here, my general, whom I put pride on, is going to basically flank charge these Avocadis, and this is really this video just shows more as a highlight of how powerful pride can be. Avocadis are one of the strongest units in Total War Rome 2, and definitely the most cost-effective melee infantry in the game. And you can see my Woden-as spear is just destroying them. I mean, 32 kills, just rapid 32 kills on them without taking many casualties at all. And that's because these guys have very high melee defense and incredibly good health and base morale. This is base morale and health that is similar to spear units that cost around over 1,000 talents is what I want to say. But take a look at these Avocadi cohorts. They're already down to 77 men, and that's from a charge from Woden-as spear units. Now his Saki equites have been destroyed, and that's because I charged my my noble riders, and I immediately supported with my spear wall, whom I then put in shield screen. So they would take a while before they succumb to those veteran legionaries. They definitely would, and at this point it looks kind of a oh, yeah, sure. Anyways, it looks like it's going to be a pretty... it's not looking very good in my main line, because the spear wall, their charge bonus has dissipated, and now they're just going to be faced with Hastati, who are very good units, and they will be able to destroy spear wall. But my Woden-as spear gen is just doing so well. I think it just goes to prove that pride can be 10 times the general ability that fast charge is. Because as I said before, Suebi just don't have good melee or weapon damage, And that's not the case for Warden Spears because they aren't melee infantry. The whole nerf to weapon damage was most pronounced among melee infantry for Suebi, but you know, they still don't have great weapon damage because they're a spear unit. Now, meanwhile, my Cimbri bowwomen, some of them are getting really good number of kills, like 22, 21. Some of them have got only like 9. But you know, all in all, it's actually looking okay. I mean, it's definitely not looking in my favor, but as long as I can get good shots, especially like my longbow hunters away, getting into the flanks with these avocado cohorts, I might stand a chance. Here I put my my Warden Spear Gen into shield wall just so that they'd be able to last for a while. They've slowly, their kills have started to drop, but you know, the damage has been done. This avocado cohort's all the way down to 53, and he had to bring a veteran legionary to help back up that fight. I've got an extra spear wall over here, whom I'm just going to use to kill off the rest of his troops. Meanwhile, I caused a massive blob here by charging in my Riders of the Hunt and my Noble Riders. And, you know, while a lot of my units have died, I've got one Riders of the Hunt that's at half strength. And both my, I've got one Britain Scout Riders that's, oh sorry, Germanic Scout Riders that's left. But I've created a huge blob here that, you know, actually my spear wall, I'm going to send them, oh yeah, I did rear charge them. I put wedge formation and then I rear charge them into this. So, what? Okay, never mind. So, yeah, this is going to create a massive blob that if I can manage to back up with one of my spear troops, could be pretty useful for me. Now I've destroyed most of his Hastati and some of his avocados are starting to waver now. And yeah, that's the avocado that my Warden Spear first killed. So yeah, they just managed to destroy a couple of avocados basically by themselves, but with good support from my Cimbri bowwomen. But yeah, over here I rear charged with my spear wall, and now I'm going to kill off his auxiliary Syrian archers. And then the sooner I can get them into this blob, the better, because my Noble Riders are starting to die. And my Warden Spear Gen has died, but now these avocados and these veteran legionary units are just going to be faced with like this massive bunch of arrows. Again, this build could have been pretty useful if it weren't for this map. A kink is, you know, they're all basically, it's completely wooded, so you know, archers will have limited strength over there. This is some kind of weird bug. I don't know. I don't know if it's a glitch in the replay or not, but you know, it seems pretty accurate so far, but I don't know about this. These two units are just standing next to each other, not doing anything, but I'm sure by this point, you know, some of my Cimbri bowwomen have depleted their ammo. I've charged one of my Noble Riders into one of his veteran legionaries, and now, you know, these veteran legionaries just have like 24 men, 23. So I think my Noble Riders might be able to win this battle off, but if not, then I've got some Cimbri bowwomen who are pretty decent in melee. You know, they have spears, and I mean, while their stats look pretty shit, and to be honest, they are, against weakened units, they will be pretty decent. I killed off one of his avocados. I think both of his avocados are done by now, and he's only got like one veteran legionary here, another veteran legionary which is full strength, which is not good for me. And maybe I think this one is like, yeah, 2 full strength veteran legionaries, and maybe 1 auxiliary Syrian archer. And here I've put my spear wall into shield screen. And this is, you know, they will actually excel. I've never really rated these units very well, but you know, one thing for sure, they can hold out for a bit. You just can't let the enemy get a good charge off, because I think, I mean, this could be just me making completely terrible assumptions, but I think that being like bracing for a charge, the better you can, or the higher your armor is, the better you can brace for a charge. I think that's just my opinion. Because like I've used these guys and I've put them on shield screen before, and they just get slaughtered on the charge. But in this case, you know, they will last for a long time in this battle, and they will slowly get some kills. Here I rear charged one of his Hastati with my with my Cimbri bowwomen, and now they're basically dead. And he's got one depleted veteran legionary here who's just going to be ganged up on by the same longbow hunters and Cimbri bowwomen. And here, it's the same thing going on here. These Cimbri bowwomen are just so good because exactly because of this, they're able to kill off, you know, some of his Saki equites, and it just shows how versatile they are. 128 kills with a double chevron on them on a completely wooded map. So just goes to show, you know, for a unit that costs only 380 talents, they're definitely worth it. Those spears really helped kill off that Saki equites. And I think I believe his general to attack that one unit, And I just love those types of units like Cimbri Bowwomen, Thracian Peltas, Dacian Heavy Skirmishers, because those are exactly the type of units that you'd want in endgame. They're great bait for your opponent to like just do a foolish rush on, and because of their really good like hidden melee stats, they can be quite a pain in the ass to deal with late game. All in all, though, it doesn't look like I would be able to win this game. He's got basically 2 full strength legionaries who have done really well. Look at this spear wall. This is what I was talking about. Like, how long have they been holding out in this battle? They are slowly dying, but you know that melee defense at 125. Like, I don't think that's matched by any other barbarian unit. I don't think so, because I think like even noble spears they have only like 115. So I believe this when this unit is on shield screen, I believe they have the highest melee defense in the game. But he's trying to rear charge that shield wall unit, so I'm going to intercept with one of my Cimbri Bowwomen. Let's try and see how many kills they get on the charge. 4, 9. Whoa, almost, yeah, it was like 7, 8 or so, 9. They are really good units, because that, I mean, yeah, like I said, they have that spear. They're definitely not as capable as other skirmishers in melee, like Thracian Peltas and Dacian Heavy Skirmishers, but they are very cheap. 380 talents for a unit that is very versatile. Like with these spears, they're deadly against cavalry, and they seem to be pretty decent in against infantry too. I just love taking them, and the spear wall is just about done. I do have numbers. He's got only 2 veteran legionaries at this point, and I've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4 units, but all of them are Cimbri Bowwomen. So it's going to be weird. And I've got 1 half-strength Germanic Scout Riders who's got like 110 kills so far, not bad. And then I'm just going to like keep charging in with these Germanic Scouts. But one thing you got to know about these guys is that they've got pretty terrible charge bonus, especially for a cavalry unit. Only 27 charge bonus, and their melee defense is really shit too. I think it's, what is it, 30? Yeah, 30. Armor at 40, health at 70. They're basically, their melee stats and weapon damage, their melee attack and weapon damage is very nice. So they're very useful against enemy skirmishers. But apart from that, I don't know how useful they could be. But I need to use their maneuverability to my advantage, and that's what I'm doing there. I was just circling them around, and I'm going to come in for another charge. Hopefully this could be pretty decisive, because a rear charge, especially from a unit that's like on wedge and stuff against a depleted strength infantry unit, will always be deadly, if not for the number of kills, but for the melee. Like you can see over here, they're starting to waver. They've been attacked in the rear, and they're slowly dropping those kills. If this unit had a better charge bonus, that unit, this veteran legionary, would have routed, because if the more number of kills you can get at a shorter period of time, the higher the morale penalty is. But unfortunately, I lost this battle. I was doomed from the start with my unit build, but I guess it was a pretty close battle, unexpectedly close, I have to say. Taking a look at the stats, my Cimbri Bowwomen did absolutely brilliantly. Look at that. 132, 114, 92, 81, 82, 89. And my longbow hunters did pretty well too, 97 kills on them. So, it just goes to show these units, for how cheap they are, they're very, very useful. And besides them, some of my spear wall units did okay. His army was really, it was a smart build from him, because he brought those 5 Hastari to, catch my charge. But you could also see that my the pride ability from my general came into play, and he just slaughtered that 1 Evocati unit, which is absolutely, like, it just goes to show how strong that ability is. My Woden spears in general also did pretty well, and I think I've found renewed respect for for the spear wall unit. They are quite good, as long as they don't get charged at. I think in general, for helping out in a cav battle, I think spear women are better, because they have an expert charge bonus, which means they're not as susceptible to the charge, to a cavalry charge, as spear wall units are. But in trying to protect your main line, I think bringing a couple of these units, you can't really go wrong with them. Anyways, guys, that's the end of this battle. Hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more. Peace.